Hello, hello. We are here with Returning to Love and my dear Sylvia, and introducing you to my dear friend Lisa Weiss. And we're talking again, this is like a continuing, forever, always emerging theme of knowing yourself. In this channel, we believe that knowing yourself and understanding yourself is the very first connection. The very first connection you are born with a body, a soul, a brain. And as you start to communicate and learn more about yourself, the less others and the things that are not bringing you to your best life, your best self, they don't matter. They just fall away. You don't get duped. All of the things that we learn with the unconscious mind and programming, they don't even matter when your primary is you and God and perfect love. And so, on this topic, we're going to talk to Lisa today. We've just been having so much fun communicating off screen. And so now we're going to invite you into the conversation, try to remember all of the nuggets that we touched on. Let me just introduce Lisa this way. I met Lisa through a mutual friend, and she actually came in and studied with me in my self-hypnosis, create your own reality course. And wow, this always happens. I learn from everybody that I connect with, and I learned so much from Lisa. And so we have continued the friendship since then, years ago, and learned from each other. And so I had to bring her in so you can learn from her as well. So welcome, welcome, Lisa. Before we dive into all of your wisdom, tell us a little bit about what would you like the world to know about you and your journey.
Well, Ruthie Renee, it has been such a joy to know you, and thank you so much for being such a blessing in my life. Well, first of all, know that I'm not perfect. I am so human, and with all of the wisdom and knowledge I've gained, it's been from poor experiences and that have helped me develop what I'd like to call discernment that is in continual progress. So life is a journey, and most importantly, not only have I learned this for myself, but the moment I think I have all the answers, if I quit asking questions, I get stumped. So I'm extremely curious and I will continue to learn and grow. And I'm excited to share the things that I've learned and where I'm at today. And I'm excited for where I'll be going and where we all get to go. So glean what works for you, and let's continue this journey called life.
I love it. I love it. Sounds just like my journey. And what about you, Sylvia? Have you learned through tough trials?
Yes. And actually, when I was told about human design, which we'll probably talk about later, I found out that that was part of my human design, and much to my chagrin, I that has been my pattern.
You a
Yes.
great life experimenter with your
Yes.
Yeah.
design.
Yes.
So Lisa, tell me a little bit about in your progressive journey, what has helped you the most get to where you are now? Let's look at the past up till now. What one or two things are like, oh my gosh, that spoke to my soul and pulled me out and back into alignment, back into pure love.
The number one thing for me has been learning to trust my own intuition. And beyond that, it has guided me to receive the help that I've needed from whom I've needed it, and to find the information that I needed it when I needed it, and to act when needed to act. So developing that took time though. Part of my gene keys is 63 and 64, both of which being well, and then 5 and 35. Those are all my gene keys. So confusion is one of them, and doubt, and impatience, and which and then hunger. So those are Those are mine. So there's the paradox. We all have duality in how we have our gifts and we have our weaknesses, we have our strengths and things that we can grow from. And we have our karmic paths. We have, I heard once that there's 44 different karmic lessons that we can learn in this life, but most of us only have about five to eight that we learn in this lifetime. And understanding that is help me give myself grace and patience for when I'm struggling with confusion or self-doubt. And what's helped me is to quiet my mind, to release whatever expectations I've had on myself. And that's probably been the hardest one for me is the expectations I've had on myself. As much as others can pile it onto me, if I take that on, that doesn't help. But then I have all the ones that I've set myself. And so when I release that and I consider, okay, what is the most important thing I can do today? And sometimes it's just relax. And I like that one, but it's hard for me because I have this hunger, this insatiable hunger to keep going and doing and learning and growing. And I think it was mentioned earlier, just almost this expectation to be perfect. Like women in my culture and how I was raised, it was like you need to look this part and play this part. And it was so external that it was fascinating how unseen I did feel, even when I did all the things, because it was unrealistic expectations. But if I ever got close to achieving them, it was like an addiction. And like most addictions, they're emotional. They're chemical components that get stuck in our cells. And once those chemicals are released in the body, and I think through love we can do that. And I think my favorite definition of repentance is a returning to one's self-love. And it's forgiveness of oneself. It's allowing what happened to have happened and to return back to who you really are authentically. Because a mistake isn't, I don't know that that necessarily exists if we learn from it, but even if we don't learn from it, we're still choosing it. If we can love that part of ourselves, then it's evolution. So there's growth in all things. And so the confusion that I've had in my life has led me to seek answers. Those answers has helped me find peace with what I do know in the moment and to know that that can change. And that most importantly, I have permission to change my mind. I didn't always have that. I thought integrity and following through was always doing what I said I would do, even if I got sick or was miserable or something happened. Like if life happened, I still had to follow through. And I've learned that people who can give me grace, and I can also give myself grace, there's room to adjust and grow, and that integrity is a matter of communication, not a matter of just follow through. Even loyalty, you can be loyal to something that isn't good for you. So at one point, at what point do you once again have to reevaluate, are you sacrificing too much of yourself? And that's where sometimes does self-doubt show up? And I'm using an example of things that I've been learning within myself to suggest that each one of you can find out, okay, where do you even find out what your gene keys are?
Yeah, and how do you, sorry
What,
to interrupt,
yeah,
because I'm looking down at Sylvia too, going, does she know what gene keys are? Because I have never heard the term gene keys. I kind of get the gist of it as you're talking, but
okay.
tell us a little bit while you gather out what that is. I just want to yes and yay and okay. The repentance, the actual word repent is shuv in Hebrew, which means return. We just return. We turn back to God. And where have the scriptures said God is within us? If we are God's children, God is within us. If we be There's so many patterns to believe. If you believe Adam and Eve, we came from Adam, then we are genetically from God. And if our spirit, however you look at it, God is within us. And so I love that you just pointed out the returning to self-love and acceptance, radical acceptance, so that we can then hear. Because I don't know about you, but like, we all want to hear the spirit. I believe God's spirit speaks through my spirit because I hear my spirit. And so returning to self-love and self-acceptance gives you the openness. We release the rigidity that keeps our ears shut. And so then we can hear the direction and knowing that it's a progression. And yep. Okay, tell us about Gene Keys.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Ruthie Renee, just for putting that together. The way I discovered Gene Keys was I got into human design. Human design is another alternative thing to, I would say, astrology, but using the same information, your birthplace, time, and location, to figure out where the stars were aligned. Only its approach is it describes parts of what you came with energetically on this planet to learn and grow and do, and a lot of your gifts. That's human design. I bring that up because part of Gene Keys is connected to what is called your incarnation cross. It is your referring to your life, theme, and purpose. That are those are the Gene Keys, and there's 64 Gene Keys. Now,
Okay.
understanding your life mission and purpose, I think a lot of people try to do that because what happens when you understand your life mission and purpose is it's like what fulfills you is your passion. What lights others up that you do is your purpose. What can you do that is a combination between your purpose and your passion? And I believe they can absolutely be intertwined. And then there's things that you came here to learn and grow. This life, for some people, if you were going to read an astrology chart, like a pie chart, often everything on the bottom half is what you came here to learn, and everything above that is what you came here to give to others. So, understanding what you came here for can help you break free from what you could call the matrix. We have different dimensions and densities that are fear-based and that keep us in guilt and shame and blame. And sadly, I think a lot of the things that we found within either our upbringing, we were manipulated or controlled in those ways emotionally, which kept us in this fear base where we have all this beautiful life and this energy that you see in little children. And at some point, it's like that light is turned off. So if you want that light to be turned on in your life again and to feel fulfilled, it's moving into this purpose again. Okay, am I doing what I came here to learn? um, it's turning that light back on. If you're in a situation or in a work environment where you just feel like something is being sucked out of you, it probably is. That's your intuition trying to guide you. And for me, because I, it's funny to me that I look at my gene keys and I'm like, why is it written in such a negative light? Like, why does it say I'm confused and there's doubt? But when you start to read it, there's several pages that it goes into depth of just like your purpose is to gain knowledge. You're hungry for it. And on the other side of self-doubt, like doubt doesn't really even exist. Because it has to do with oneself that as I was meditating on doubt this morning specifically, is it goes directly into your self-worth. That when you have this confidence and the self-worth in who you are and what you're here to do, there's no doubt in what you do. You think of a child and they are, you know, putting on a beautiful dress and twirling around the house. I have a beautiful 4-year-old that just wants to wear a dress every day. And even after potty training, she needed me to lift her dress because she couldn't hold it up while she went potty. And I'm like, this is the ultimate princess treatment. And she didn't feel bad to ask for help and how to do all these things. You could see the abundance of self-worth within her being. There's nothing wrong with that self-doubt. It's the lesson that's on the other side of that. And the book goes in and explain it. You can get it on Audible, you can get the book itself to understand your gene keys. You can look up your human design online. You can get a summary of it. You can get the app called Align, and it's just I think you can get it for free and try it out.
You can do yours for free. Yeah, there's mine. You can't I can't see it, but there we go. The basics. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you? I'm a generator.
Yes,
What are
I'm a
you?
I'm a generator as well.
Oh.
So that's in human design. And there's In human design, there's projectors, there's generators, and manifestors, and then there's manifesting generators.
Right.
As
You're a manifesting generator, Sylvia?
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's so
Yeah.
neat.
I still don't know what that all means, but I that's where I fall.
You're good at creating things and having the energy to do it. Um,
Oh, well, then I must be out of alignment right now because I have very little energy.
and and that can happen. Generators typically have the most energy. Projectors don't usually have as much energy, but they love to give their ideas to generators to make their ideas happen. And generators love ideas. It's just like, give me an idea and I'll make it happen. And so that can be really fun working with your team in a way that really helps enhance your productivity.
Yeah. It is so helpful with the clients that I have worked and pulled their human design up. There's so many light bulbs go on for them. Is the gene keys inside of the human design? Is that all okay,
So
that's something different.
separate. So within human design, it will show you your incarnation cross and it
Mhm.
will have little italicized numbers. So mine says 35/5 and then 63/64. Though, and those are in reference to the gene keys. So those are all of my gene keys. Those are the things that I came here to learn in my incarnation and in my life mission and purpose. So I've listened through the information on Audible and I got the hardcover book because I like to visually get it, um, kinesthetically, hands-on learning it. And the better I understand myself, the better I feel like I can understand others. Because if I can see tendencies within myself, and if it relates to others, once again, the more clients I work with, the more I see the diversity in that. Once again, that's my hunger for knowledge and learning. I love to learn. And astrologically, I'm also a Gemini, a triple Gemini. I love to learn. That's how I communicate. Geminis are typically more articulate. So how did I come articulate? Um, I like to find good words to articulate and to be understood. Granted, when it comes to understanding, often it's best to allow others to seek to understand, because then it helps guide what needs to be said. But
Yeah,
you can also clarify what did you understand? And once again, that's just a communication tip.
for sure. For sure. I love that. And that is actually, let's just not jump over that like a speed bump. That in and of itself encompasses so much frustration in relationships, is not being able to understand each other, and then it's easy to get upset because I was very clear and you didn't understand me. What's your problem? And and so much of understanding doesn't come with the words. There's the body language, there's the tone, there's the intention. And that phrase right there that you said, what did you say? What did you understand? What about that did you understand? Or
If
um,
if you don't feel understood, you can ask the question, what did you understand?
what did you understand? Yes, thank you. Instead of making it an attack, it opens up the dialogue more. How so you find out what they understand, and then you can clarify with more information or more guiding questions. In Sylvia, you correct me if you do it differently. I know in hypnotherapy, after you've been working with a lot of people, it's really easy to see what's going on. However, if I just tell you what's wrong with you or what's going on, it may connect, but it doesn't go deep enough to create change. You have to have that, oh my gosh, moment. And so asking the right questions to pull it out is so much more beneficial. So there's your little relational tip. So back to Gene Keys, so you find them with your birth chart?
With your human design and using your birth date, time, and location.
I'm wanting to say, tell me the negative things because they sound negative, but like you said, they're not. They're not. It's all of it is just awareness
Mhm.
and the feelings that come up, the doubt, the worry, the whatever. It's just data coming up for me to direct my attention to. How
Just
am I going to direct my attention towards it? That's the question.
let's do the app, the Align app. Go ahead
Yeah.
and go to section 9 in your chart, and it will be your incarnation cross. And you can tell me from there what your gene keys are.
Oh, 40/37, 16/9
Okay.
to foster community. Hmm. How about that?
I don't
Everybody gets to learn about me at the same time as I do.
Okay. So we'll start with 40 and tell me if this resonates. So the will to surrender, psychology, it's in the stomach. So I wonder if you have a lot of gut awarenesses. So the fourth shadow is exhaustion, uh,
Mm,
energetics of force and will. So when I mean this goes into depth, this isn't just one page of information. There's going to be multiple pages. So repressive nature, reactive nature, contemptuous, and the lost art of doing nothing, complete physical relaxation. So this is your siddha, your divine will. The individuals whose senses his aloneness and only be is like a thing subject to the deep laws, the cosmic laws. If a person goes out into the dawn or gazes out into the evening, filled with happy happenings, if he senses what happens there, then all situations fall away from him as from someone dead, even though he stands in the midst of life. So it's very paradoxical. Are you learning to just enjoy being?
yes,
So
it took some time. I think that's why I was led to yoga and meditation. And I think one of you said it here, the doing nothing, the being still, that is hard because the impressions of society says you're not successful if you're lazy. And so taking that time, I'm still working on it. When I do it, it's so beautiful and simple. I've been doing it. I can look back at my childhood and see, oh yeah, yeah, that comes natural. And then life gets in the way, and then you have everybody to take care of. And so it's different. That's so interesting. Do you know
and
yours, Sylvia? Do you have yours on your app? Is that what you went
I
to look?
have my numbers. I found them.
oh, good. Your gift is resolve, though, within that, which is
Oh,
important.
okay.
Oh,
Find your resolve, your knowing in those moments. So it's important to see both sides. So the shadow might feel like exhaustion, but it's the exhaustion in probably misalignment. So that energy comes with the resolve in alignment. And ironically enough, 37 is weakness, and yet the gift is equality.
Mm,
Find that strength, you probably ask for more help and find ways to include others in your journey. Whereas if you resist that, you're going to feel really weak. So
mm.
how can you find ways to include others and incorporate? This is a really, really brief summary out of like pages of information. So, so
That
part of
is
the like,
so it is so spot on. And I feel like your your gifts are always wrapped inside the pain and and it guides you. The yeah, that my exhaustion guides me to ask for help, which normally I wouldn't.
right. Well, because if you had all this strength, you would just do it.
I would just do it.
No, and so what the gift is I mean, this is evidence where you have a whole community with you right now. Here we are having this conversation because you're not doing it alone right now,
Yeah.
and you're finding strength within that.
And that is me. I very rarely will take the time to pause to do the things that are healthy for me unless I'm also piggybacking it with helping somebody else or gathering in. I reached out to Sylvia yesterday. I was like, I said I was going to do Qigong every day last week and I did zero. I need to just get somebody to do it with me. And Sylvia volunteered, and we had so much fun. And it was so
We did.
simple. And I had so much energy the rest of the day. And also I tend to be a somnambulistic, probably more than I would like to. Um, and that goes back to I don't know the words that you used exactly, but being still and grounded in myself, being alone in myself, and that's where I find my answers. That's where I can listen to my intuition. Because when I'm with more people, I I'm open and I want to believe everything, but then I have to take it and go back to God, get on my knees, go into myself, go into my closet. And
Uh,
so yeah,
like,
that is so great. So
um,
is that all the four of them all come together, or
Hold on.
that's just two of them? Okay, just tell me what the other two are, and I'll go look into it later because I want to hear what Sylvia's are.
Right. So the 16th gene key is indifference and the diffusion of responsibility.
Mm,
So there's the gift in that is a talent for sustainability and versatility. So finding multiple ways to accomplish the things that you desire and that you need to be dynamic, gleaning from other people's ideas. And so by doing so, you have more sustainability. I think of it this way, like you need more than one resource to survive on this planet. But
yeah.
you're not just tapping into the physical resources. You're tapping into the spiritual and the energetic, the relationships, and you're diving into that rather than like throwing up your hands and being indifferent. You're finding the gift in that and going deeply within.
So that's interesting because when I hear indifferent, I feel neutral. And what have I been saying all year? I'm a fence sitter. I'm not going to jump on any, I want to be neutral. I like being on the fence so I can see both sides and see the further away. And that's why I created Returning to Love, because in the center, in the straight and narrow, it's
Mm.
neutral. It's just with divine, pure love. And you get out of that and it gets more and more and more distorted. And so the indifference to me just feels like neutrality. And it can come off indifferent because when people come to me with their passion, they're like, "Can you believe those people?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're human people. You can see how the progression. Let's go back to the source. Oh, yep, this happened, and then that cascaded across time and became that religion. And the same thing went this direction and cascaded across time and became that religion or that science or that, it's just fun. Ugh. And then what was the other one?
That I loved your insight on that because I think that's beautiful. That is showing a shadow and shining the light on it of like, no, I really resonate with that. And it
Yeah,
feels
that's
peaceful
me.
and neutral to me.
I'll
Anyway,
own
so
it.
yeah. Um, and I own the impatience and I like to call it determined. I love to be wisely determined in what I pursue. So the ninth gene key is the ninth shadow is inertia, the domestication of dreams. And so your siddha, the is invincibility, inner space, the final frontier. How does that resonate with you? Just with not even knowing the 7, 8 pages of depth that it goes into.
Um, well, okay. So inertia, my first gut response was my how I have always had an aversion to roller coasters or fast movement, and I may be thinking of the word inertia in a wrong way, but the inertia is the feeling, the movement through time, right? That
In
define inertia for me.
gift is determination, actually, within the inertia. And inertia is momentum.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And my fear, when I am fearing jumping on that train, when I hold myself back, I get dizzy and I feel, oh my gosh, is it awful? It's when the crystal's in your ear and you have to move your head and it's very dizzying. Um,
Vertigo or
thank
something
you.
else?
Thank
Okay.
you. Vertigo has it's been absolutely awful. And when looking into the energetics of vertigo and where I was, and it's like, okay, not being willing to, it's the opposite. Not being willing to flow with the inertia, with the movement, with the, um, I did a lot of tapping to be able to handle roller coasters. And once I removed the fear, the exhilaration is unmatched.
Mm.
But there is a large part of me that fears that movement, that the feeling of losing yourself and just jumping into the stream. Um, that one is probably the most scary. Oh, yep. And then the gift is, what is the gift that I get when I'm okay with this?
Determination.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to sit on that one. Next, move to Sylvia.
All right,
I love
Sylvia.
you, Ruby.
Oh, thank you for looking at that and being vulnerable and letting me finish looking at all of your numbers.
Thank you.
It's fun, and I think there was that you needed to see.
Yeah, yep, yep. Yes, thank you. I'm going to process, and while we hear Sylvia, the heat, be
Okay.
okay with the heat.
Okay, so these are the numbers that I got off of there. It's 8/14 and 30/29.
All right. Well, 8 is just right here. And what's fascinating is everyone has a different combination of numbers. And what amazes me is there hasn't been one person that I've looked at where it didn't feel like each one resonated with that individual and where they went really go hand in hand, and yet they can be mixed up for everyone and be like, but it works for them and it works for them and it works for me. So the eighth gene key, diamond of the self, the city, um, exquisiteness, gift, style, shadow, mediocrity.
Mm.
How does that resonate with you?
Mediocrity. That is so what I was expecting or yeah, what I'm expecting out of this is to find things that are so true for me that I've if it's the negative version of it, that I've tried to overcome it or hide it or make up for it. And mediocrity would be it right in there.
Mhm. Yeah, right below that, where it says mediocrity, it says beyond the comfort zone. And I want to read the first little bit because I think this might be helpful. Is when you look at the world in which you live today, especially the Western world, it is quite extraordinary how many people live such similar lives. So the eighth shadow, like all the shadow frequencies, is founded upon a specific fear, and in this case, it is the fear of being different. The eighth shadow prevents individuals from rising out of the mass consciousness and exploring the real adventure of life. The true nature of individuality is rebellion. But rebellion is unsafe, so the mass consciousness of humanity chooses the illusion of security instead. The eighth shadow weaves a web across the world, and this web supports the planetary comfort zone. Only when life forces you to grow through some kind of crisis or the death of a loved one, for example, do you come to experience your true nature outside the borders of this comfort zone. So
Um, yes.
that's
Yes.
the paragraph.
Wow. Yes, I can see. Okay. Yes. My heart wants to I want to homestead. I want to build a straw bale house. I want to a bunch of other things, but um there is that sense of, well, if I do, then we'll, not only for myself, but I put all of my kids in there too. I'm like, we'll be different and we won't be acceptable in normal society. And so that is a fear that has held me back. But
Mm.
and then I experienced a couple of years of kind of rapid succession losses and hardships, and it really helped me to face that phobia of rejection and kind of say, maybe I don't care.
Mm.
I have to be true to myself, and this is my life. I'm going to get to the end of this life, and I want to be able to look back and go and think with satisfaction, I did the things I wanted to do, or at least most of them,
Yeah.
and not be worried about did I fit in enough?
Yes, that's not where your exquisiteness and beauty and style come in. It's
Yeah.
your authenticity, your individuality, and willingness to go outside and be you and to not fit in. That's
Yeah.
sides. And how beautiful is that? It's extraordinary. And so it sounds like they're ironically enough, all of these dreams that don't fit in the norm.
Uh-huh. That's wonderful. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
that was 8.
yep. So the next one is 14, and it is radiating prosperity. The sati is bounteousness. The gift is competence. The shadow is compromise. So,
I do love Ruthie knows me so well. I do see that. Oh, yes. Um, Competency is very high. It's kind of a high value for me. I feel like I don't have room to speak on something unless I have a lot of experience. And I'm getting over that more. That was kind of a limiting thing for a while, that I just couldn't put myself out there until I was a master in it. And then I started to realize that I was being helped a whole lot by people who were imperfect at their craft. And so if God wants me out there helping people, I might have to not wait until I'm perfect. So here I am, folks. And what was the, let's see.
What's the shadow of that
Yeah,
competency? And then,
compromise.
compromise.
okay,
Yeah.
Sylvia, in a class that you taught not that long ago, and it was like a moment for me, you said that, I'm gonna gum it up a little bit, so you help me. When you are doing something without being fully engaged or being fully in alignment with it. I don't remember how you put it at least, but you said it's better to not serve if you're not serving it from,
Mm,
you remember what
Yeah. Well, I do know I do know how I apply that in my life, and I'm learning more and more that when I honor how I'm feeling in the moment more than kind of I don't know if they're masculine or if they're just, or if it's like a worldly thing where it's like you have to keep your word, you have to show up on time, and that's a high value for me, but it's one that I've had to overcome with the idea that when I am true to myself, if I'm tired, I lay down. If I get a sick feeling in my stomach about going to this meeting, I want to cancel, serendipity just shows up all over the place when I follow what I'm feeling in the moment. And as long as it's not fear, if it's out of alignment in the way of fear, or if I have a lot of judgment about somebody else, I know I need to clean those things up before I can be sure that the answer I'm getting is the right one. But
mm,
yeah, so being in integrity with honoring myself, like Lisa was talking about, we need to be true to ourselves and honor ourselves, and then um, and then make sure you're in alignment with love and not judgment or fear. Uh, and then even if it changes plans or disappoints someone or uh, looks like it's wrong, um, I trust it, and amazing things happen, and it ends up being a blessing to somebody or to myself that I didn't even know to ask for. It's
Yeah.
better than I could have asked for.
Right. And just to add to that, as a generator, that's exactly what it's referred to is that generators are best suited to be where they feel lighted up. It's because they generate energy wherever they go. And I would say, in a way, the shadow, it says it's compromise, but what you're choosing is you're not compromising yourself. And as a generator in human design, whenever you do compromise yourself, it drains you of energy, and there could have been a better person for the job, and you're not.
Yes,
And
yes.
so you're allowing that alignment to take place, and it's you see over and over again the evidence of like, yes, I did make the right choice. I didn't compromise myself, and that does make you more competent.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
I love how you have already figured this one out, and I've seen it grow in real time over the last year specifically. And then that's right. You're what I love it. Oh, what's next? It's a lot more fun listening to Sylvia's.
Right? Um, so the gene key 30, and isn't this fun? See, all of ours were different.
Yeah.
Um, this it's celestial fire.
Mm,
Psychology, solar plexus, digestion. I am skimming over things. There's so much more content. I recommend getting the book. So the siddha is rapture. The gift is lightness. The shadow is desire. And so it starts with shadow and nature's greatest con. I find this so interesting. Can I read just a little bit?
yeah.
Please.
Okay, deep within the matrix of the DNA molecule lies a vile code that is greatly responsible for the building of our human civilization. This is the 30th shadow of the human desire. Often, when we think of desire, we think first of sexual desire, which is in fact only one direction the desire can take. To understand this 30th shadow, we will have to strip desire down to its essence. And this means detaching the force of desire from its projection into the world as a pure phenomenon. Desire is simply genetic hunger. It does have a deep connection to our physical need to eat, but desire alone is not responsible for our individual survival. This aspect of our genetics does not influence individuality at all. It only, if anything, desire is far more likely to get us killed than protect us. However, desire does serve a far wider purpose than viewed at a collective genetic level. The real purpose of desire is to get human beings to make mistakes so that we can evolve. And then it goes into clarification. So desire does not serve the individual, but it does teach us something valuable at a collective level. The real hunger coming from the 30th shadow is a hunger for experience itself.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that. And I'm seeing more and more lately the examples in my life of times when I've had a desire and I've moved towards it and it begins to look like an absolute mistake. But the experience along the way, I gained so many lessons through it that I then fully expect to apply to future uh, projects and desires. And I see that. I see that. I want to understand celestial fire and rapture and lightness. So, um, yeah, I'm like, celestial fire, that just sounds exciting.
It does, and it's so fun that you're a redhead. Oh.
It's celestial, so I do have a soul.
Oh no.
Yes, you do. You have a bright one too.
Oh,
Thank
you're
God you live in 2026 and not 1826.
Oh, there's some good things on there. This is the celestial fire. There's 2 pages on it. Um, but it's the rapture. The 30th sati of rapture only occurs when you step willingly into the fires of inhibition
Mm.
There's a
or
lot.
or annihilation. Sorry, fires of annihilation. That's a big difference in words. Let me
That
Oh,
just
is, I was like, what in the?
fires of annihilation.
Oh,
I wonder
wow.
if parts of you get burned away like the phoenix.
yes, that is exactly what I thought. What are you willing to step into that fire and burn away all the not you?
Man, that's been a struggle for 5 years, 6 years now, longer than that, but a more intense struggle for 6 years. And then now this last year, like Ruthie was saying, that it's felt more and more like I can't
Mm.
maintain this kind of this false buildup around myself. I it's exhausting, and so I am surrendering to the fire, and it's scary and it's exhilarating and revealing, and we'll see what comes out, what makes it out.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just thinking when we were looking at your other gene keys, you're like, where's the energy? Where's the vitality? And I think what's being burned away is the weakness. It's the inauthenticities because you're like, that's sucking my life away. And
Yeah.
so it's that beautiful paradox of, yeah, these fires, these celestial fires are burning away those inauthenticities. And suddenly there will be no blocks to have a homestead, to live in your straw bale house that will be well insulated and off the grid and just a magical place, exquisite and beautiful, and because that's your style, and it's just honoring that
Yeah.
of what the grain has been. So I just think that's really really beautiful that you have this fire, and so you could look at it as like, oh, fire hurts, it's painful. um and what's really interesting is the 30th and the 29th sadhis represent an archetype stream within your DNA that causes powerful mutations in your endocrine system. So you're literally being molded and shaped, and you have both of those gifts. So we get to look at the 29th gift next because I think they go hand in hand, and here you already have them. Um, oh, I just, do you want to hear it? This
Yes,
is
I'm on I'm on the edge of my seat.
okay. Okay. So the Sadhi is devotion. The gift is commitment, but the shadow is half-heartedness. And it
Oh,
goes the life half lived. And almost like and so yet the gift is leaping into the void because if you don't, that's the half-lived life. And so it's this uh, to me it feels like this tearing apart of like your heart wants to be comfortable and safe in this familiar space and not go against the grain. And yet all of you can live this beautiful, fulfilling, exquisite life if you leap. You take the leap, but it might burn. It's like it's
It
all
will
of that.
burn.
You're like, let me just tell you straight. It will burn.
It will burn, but luckily Sylvia has is a master hypnotherapist and has experienced um hypnobirthing, and that fire can be that's what my mind went right to. It like it can be exhilarating and enjoyable, and because the pain is only in our mind.
Well, it's 80%, I think, in the mind. 80% emotional. Studying and being a doula, that's what
Yeah.
I've noticed. Is but doing
Well,
hip
yes. If you're in acceptance, okay. And this is, oh my gosh, this is going to have to be my last thing because my next appointment was just calling me. Um, we have our natural emotions and our physical, everything that happens in perfect balance on this natural earth plane. Anger. Anger is natural. It's one of our five key emotions. When it is out disproportionate or mutated, you use the word mutated in one of the things, when it's mutated and becomes rage, it is no longer natural. Healing, bringing it back into the balance, the returning to love in the perfect balance of what God's given us here, it's all handleable. So the pain, the fire, the purification, that is all doable so long as it's in that balance. And you know how, gosh, I have chills. You see those chills? You know how to remove everything that is not in that perfect balance of God-given love and light. And you have the strength to endure the fire that burns away everything else. That's so beautiful.
It's still scary.
Yes, yes. Yes, I think Shadmac. And those guys going into the fire and knowing, and I'm just wondering, I haven't seen, and I'm sure this is in reference to something outside of what it actually states in the scriptures, which I have, that's a discussion for another day. And Lisa, we didn't even touch on the body work that you do and the intuitive, there is so much to uncover. So you're just going to have to join us again and again and again.
I'd love that.
So if people are just even just this part, maybe they just want to see your intake and help them navigate through human design and the gene keys and find out what that body work and how you help people, where do they find you?
Right now, Facebook is the best way, or you can email me personally at harmonioushealingservice@gmail.com.
Perfect. So great. And you're located in Cache Valley, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Utah.
Wonderful. Gosh, thank you so much for this rich discussion. Always a pleasure, Sylvia. And now we've got another favorite friend to have deep, deep discussions with. We all love all the deep things. And as we align with our true nature, we step into it boldly and with love because we know, because we can return to ourselves, to God, and God tells us directly. Sylvia, I think you're the one that has said, warning, warning, do whatever you please, but be sure that you are very wary of anybody that says you need me to get to God. And I absolutely agree with that. Lisa, what message would you like to leave the world with today?
You're loved unconditionally, and you can feel that love within yourself, and it's available to you now. And thank you for letting me love you today.
That's beautiful. And I immediately felt it. And I so agree. And on that note, we hope that you return to our channel and hear more as we deep dive into all the many ways we can constantly and every day in every way return to perfect love. We love you all.